Hi guys, welcome to my channel or welcome back. I wanted to talk about persistence and what to do when you are manifesting and you are not seeing progress. You feel frustrated, you feel defeated, you feel like, is this working, blah, blah, blah. First off, let's just make it clear. If you are sitting there saying this isn't working, um, like, should I give up? Like, when is this going to come to fruition? That is a form of wavering. So you are not in the state of the wish fulfilled. So even though you feel like you are manifesting what you want, or at least trying to, unfortunately, you are not, okay? Think of it as like a state of a habit versus a state of I'm looking for it, which is a state of I want it. So if you catch yourself thinking like that, you need to pull yourself back. The good thing is you can do that immediately. So if you catch yourself saying like, is this even working? Like, should I give up? You need to say to yourself at that moment, it's already done. It's already worked. Of course it's working. It works every time without fail. You need to say something like that, as well as just like normal wavering, whether, which is like if you say, let's say you're manifesting a SP and they have you blocked. If you like repeat the affirmation to yourself, like SP is obsessed with me, and you have the thought, no, they're not obsessed with me, like I'm blocked. You're gonna say, that's not true. That was the old story. This is where I'm at now. So wavering, it can be very frustrating to fight the wavering that's happening. I've felt it. I still feel it sometimes. Like, frustration can totally happen, and it does not mean that you're not going to get your manifestation. I have gotten manifestations even when I was disappointed, sad, angry, whatever. Does not freaking matter. So do not even put that much thought into what you are feeling. What you are wanting to do is literally, you're just trying to change your subconscious beliefs. So you've been telling, your subconscious this one story for, a while to create this belief, and now you're coming in and trying to change it. And this is where persistence comes in, because your conscious brain can get the message pretty quickly. You can tell the conscious brain, like, the sky's red, and maybe you won't fully believe it, but you can repeat that to yourself a few times, and your conscious brain is like, okay, I get it, like, the sky is apparently red. Your subconscious is a little different. I think it does not like change as much, and that's like a safety measure, like you have all these programs kind of built into you for a while, and that's okay, but they are changeable, and that's the important thing. And I think once you start kind of chipping away at it, it actually moves very quickly, which is why people can get manifestations even to things that they've had a ton of resistance to very, very quickly. And it's because it's kind of like a rock slide or whatever. Like, it just takes you to hit that one rock one time, and all of a sudden it's completely changed. So with persisting, you have no idea how deeply ingrained these beliefs are. And especially when it's things like relationships or money or things like that, a lot of times these are very like deep rooted. You got passed down these kind of beliefs in childhood. Like, if you saw your parents having a really shitty relationship, it's pretty normal for you to kind of have an assumption that that's how your relationships are going to go. If your parents had a bad money mindset, you might have that as well. Like I said, it's changeable. It's completely changeable. But you know, if you've been repeating the same story to yourself for 25 years, you cannot be annoyed when you don't get it in 2 days, you know? And like I said, it can happen. It can happen. Miracles happen all the time. Fast manifestations happen all the time. Windfalls happen all the time. Like, I am not trying to put any limiting beliefs. I am just saying that if it does not come in the time frame that you mentally were like okay with, that doesn't mean to give up. That doesn't mean to stop. You know that if you have not gotten the manifestation yet, that there is still some kind of subconscious assumption that is still there, that you still need to change. So doing exactly what you're doing, whether that's visualizing, scripting, affirming, that's what you need to be doing. You need to be persisting in this new story, okay? Like I said, wavering, that's a big one that messes people up, especially because I feel like a lot of people think when they hear wavering, they think like specifically about the thing that they're manifesting. Like if I'm manifesting free products, they do think that wavering is just like, no, I don't get free products, but it's not. It's actually you questioning whether manifestation even exists. So you just really have to watch the thoughts that you are allowing into your brain and just trying to flip those as much as possible. Now, I don't want you to feel like, oh, I've been wavering, like I've messed this whole thing up. That's not true. You know, how often do we have crazy intrusive thoughts? Those don't automatically manifest. And that's why, you know, the subconscious is not a bad thing. It's because, like, could you imagine if just every single thought that went into your brain just automatically manifested? That would be awful. That would be awful. So don't worry if it is taking a little time. What you need to focus on is looking to make sure that you are not wavering about anything, and if you are, flipping it, okay? And if a few come through and you didn't realize you were wavering, it's not the end of the world, okay? It's whatever your main thoughts are, you know? It's your assumption, not just one individual thought, that is making the difference, okay? Another thing that I recommend doing if you are struggling with like a certain subject or anything like that is to take a look at what you're listening to, what you're watching, just everything that's getting absorbed into your brain. Because if you are, you know, I said this on one of my shorts, if you are, you know, wanting to manifest like a perfect relationship, but then you're just watching reality TV shows that show like cheaters and really shitty relationships, you are kind of programming that into your subconscious, like, hey, this happens, you know. And I think the same thing with if you like watch crime and things like that. I don't think it's good for you all the time, you know, especially if you can't really differentiate it. And like, don't get me wrong, like I love body cam footage, so I watch that, but I really try when like listening to music that I'm, you know, putting on things that are things that I want manifested into my life. And you know, I don't watch body cam footage when I'm falling asleep. That was a thing that I was doing a few years ago, is I would fall asleep listening to crime podcasts. And it's like, it was crazy. You know, I was anxious literally all the time. It's like, why do you think you're anxious all the time? So just be careful what you are watching and absorbing, especially right before you go to sleep. But you know, do I think that watching a reality TV show every once in a while, or if you just really love Love Island or something like that, watch it. I'm not saying to stop. I'm just saying if something is really important to you and what you are watching is the opposite of that, maybe try to limit it while you are trying to change your subconscious beliefs. Just a FYI, a tip. You don't have to. You can still get your manifestations no matter what. This is just tips, okay? Anyway, guys, I think that's going to be it for me probably this week. My mom's coming into town, so I don't know if I'm gonna make any videos, maybe some short form, but yeah. Anyway, I hope y'all have a great week. I hope everything works in your favor, and love you. Bye.